What's up? Good evening. I'm on here a little bit early, especially compared to last night, but I'll give everybody a few minutes. I say a few minutes, but I really mean a few seconds to jump on to episode 27 of the Home Front. I just want to give everybody a minute and make sure when you jump on, you let me know you're watching so I can shout you out. Also, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the love button. You can hit the mad face if I say something to make you angry, or tag a friend that you feel may benefit from this. Don't be selfish with the information. You definitely want to let everybody know. Every day I come to you and let you know a little bit of information about real estate, hopefully to bring you value and help you with any questions you might have. So today we're going to talk about, from a buyer and a seller's perspective, what you need to have for your realtor when you're ready to start, actually. There's a list of things that I suggest getting prepared or even just start thinking about. What's up, Greg? Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for sharing, Danny. That is awesome. I appreciate it. The first thing we're going to start with are buyers. The most important features your most important features, things that you feel like you need to have in your house. For example, some people love to cook and they just have to have a brand new upgraded kitchen. So that would be something that you would put on your I have to have list. There's two lists. There's the must-haves and then there's the nice-to-haves. And then there's the would be nice, but it's really not important. So you can kind of prioritize in 1, 2, and 3. And I would definitely say, think about those. If you're married, sit down with your significant other and really talk about them, because when the husband wants to have one thing and the wife wants to have something else, you kind of have some issues when you start shopping, and you don't want to go to 5,000 houses and then not make a decision. You really should be able to narrow some things down based on your features, location, things like that, and that way you're more prepared, because you can get really tired and frustrated when you go look at 25 houses in one day. So I would never take someone to see that many houses, because everything starts to blend together for everybody. The second thing is know your budget. Don't get emotional about it. You know, you go to your loan officer, and that's the first thing I have everyone do, because you cannot write an offer on a house without your pre-approval letter. So you really need to know your budget, know what you can afford, know what you're pre-approved for, but then know what you can afford. You don't want to spend all the money that they tell you you can spend if you're not comfortable doing that. So there's a couple questions that I would have my buyer go back to the loan officer and find out, what is the mortgage for this amount? What is the mortgage for, the amount that I'm comfortable with? And or I would say, you could even say, here's what I'm comfortable with. How much can I spend? Something like that is good to know. What's up? I hope I don't butcher your name, Emron. Number 3 is your moving timeline. You have to know how it works. You can't be ready to move in a month and then come and get the process started. Number 1, it takes time. It takes at least 30 to 45 days to close. Depending on your type of loan, it may take 60 days. So you need to have time to do the shopping, to move, and to go through the closing process. So if you already know that you are pre-approved because you've kind of done your due diligence on that, then I would say you could start as early as maybe 6 months. I don't think that's too early to just start the beginning stages so you don't feel rushed. I always like to start a little bit early, have a little overlap, so if you do have a house to sell, then you have some time. I mean, starting even a little bit earlier than that. It just depends on what time of market you're in, or type of market you're in, and you don't want to be on a deadline and feel rushed to do something. That's never the best situation. And the last thing, or actually number 4, is you need to have your pre-approval letter. I tell everyone, like I just mentioned, I tell everyone you need to have a pre-approval letter, because you can't write an offer for a house that you haven't been pre-approved for. So it's more than just wasting your time, getting your hopes up, taking you out to houses, and you're all excited and you can't do anything because you haven't even been pre-approved. It's a mandatory requirement to write an offer. When you send it in, they want to see that you can afford what you're putting an offer on. So that's number 4 to have. And then number 5 are maybe the top areas that you want to live in, and then know why, because I'm going to help you work through that as to why that area may be important for you. And maybe there might be something else that you're not thinking about that I can help you work through. So I always like to ask that question about, why do you want these features? Why is that most important? Or you think it is, and sometimes I can help you work through it and maybe open your mind up. Now that goes into, sellers, which is both for buyers and sellers. Why are you moving? And also buyers, do you have a house to sell? So these are things you need to think about. Maybe you start looking at houses and you're getting excited and you kind of want to, upgrade the house, or you need more space. So you will have a house to sell first. I always say that's never a guarantee. It's easy to go put a contract on a house, but if you have something to sell first, that is step 1. And thinking about why you're moving. Are you moving out of town because you got another job, you're relocating, or are you just upgrading? So these are important things to understand as far as timeline goes, because again, I don't want you to be under the gun. So you have to be well prepared. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't think you know how the market's going to go, because it can change pretty quickly. The next one, if you're a seller, is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to ask you, what are your most recent upgrades? What have you done to the house since you purchased it? Because those are things that I want to put in the listing. I want to be able to explain to a new person coming in or a buyer, here are the beautiful features of this home, which kind of goes hand in hand with why you picked the home. Maybe if you did the upgrades when you moved in, it won't. But I also ask, why did you pick that house? Was it the neighborhood? Was it the people? Is it in a location that you like? Thanks for joining, Jose. We're talking about the list of things that you need to have when you are ready to start either the home buying or the home selling process. And hello to you. So why you picked the home is something that I'm going to use to market it. I mean, you may have picked it because it had a flat lot, you like the neighborhood, maybe you're not in a neighborhood. I'm frozen or you're frozen? Anybody else having a problem? Can you hear me? I'll wait until you answer. Hopefully it's not my connection. Can you hear me? Let me check it out. I don't want to keep going if it's really legit frozen. So let's see. No, it's not frozen on my end. Or at least it doesn't appear that way. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Again, I addressed the timeline to sell, which is important. And then, have you sold a home before? If you haven't sold a home before, you don't really know how to get prepared. So I will come in and give you a whole bunch of information about how to get your home ready. Maybe give you some suggestions on how to prepare your home, how you should look at it. You need to take off your homeowner glasses and put on I'm a new buyer glasses. It's just a whole new perspective, how you see things, because when you're coming into your house every day, a lot of times you shut off seeing those things that are broken. But if you're coming in if you're putting on the perspective of a new buyer that wants to live in this house, you're going to see everything. So it's really important to change your mindset when you are getting ready to sell your house. You want to put it in the best light possible. If you have a ton of upgrades that you need to do and it's just way off, it's just not ready, I'm going to give you a couple different options. I'm not going to just tell you here's one price range. I like to give people some things to consider. First, if you need a lot of upgrades, I'm going to give you that price point to not do anything. The second thing is I'm going to say here, if you make some of the upgrades and you can't do them all, or you don't want to do them all, here's what I think you can get, because you have to price it based on its current condition, not what it could be. So the last one is, if your home is in top-notch condition, you're going to get top dollar for it. I give 3 options so that way you can decide what's going to work best for you. Some people don't want to put the money in to do the upgrades. They just want to get rid of it. So it's good, I think, to help you, to give you options where you can really evaluate what's going to work best for you. And thanks for the love and the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 27. I really appreciate you guys watching this every day. And if you have any topics that you would like me to go over, or any questions that I can help you with, or I'm actually looking for some people that would like to be interviewed on the show, please, please, please hit me up. I definitely want to connect you out to everyone else. This is about connecting and bringing value. And I don't have all the info and I don't have all the knowledge, and I would love to interview you and ask you questions and get to know you, and that way introduce you to my audience and get to know yours. So please let me know. Yes, John, I am having a great day. I hope you are as well. And I appreciate you watching. And thank you, Jose, for jumping on. And again, don't be selfish with the information. You never know who needs to know these things. So please share it out. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. You have a good evening.